Let's make a snacky do for the big game that's coming up this weekend. Want to? We're gonna make some pig poppers, and this is on page 3 of my first cookbook. So y'all hold that cookbook for me. Y'all so handy. Okay, so what I have here, I have some bacon, I have some little cocktail weenies, and what I'm using, this brand is a Carolina Pride cocktail sausage. This does not have MSG in it. This was 1.5 pounds, and I'm gonna use about half of it for this recipe, and then I have another something fun that we're gonna do with that other half of it. So it's gonna be delicious. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Okay, now sometimes I use pepper bacon for this, and sometimes I don't. I don't really like to buy pepper bacon because a lot of times it costs more, and then I don't use that for a lot of different things. So I'd rather keep regular bacon in the icebox and then add some pepper. So what this is just, oh, I don't know, 14, 15 pieces of bacon, and it was an Oscar Mayer, so it's fanned out. Well, I stacked it in a stack. So let me show you what we're gonna do to make this a pepper bacon. So you just take your pepper, and I'm just gonna put some right here. You can always add more. Let's see, before I touch that, I am gonna add more. There we go. Okay, now if you're feeding children, you may not wanna go do this. But then I just take my bacon and just press it, press the edge down into that pepper, and then flip her over and press this side into the pepper. Okay, so there we go. So I'm gonna cut each one of these pieces into thirds. Now you can do a half of a piece, but it's gonna take longer for it to cook. So I'm just gonna eyeball this and say that looks about like a third right there. And kitchen scissors are your friend, y'all. These are one of my favorite things. Let's just, that looks like a third. Okay, so let's put these in the sink right here. Okay, now I have some toothpicks here that I have been soaking in water for a couple hours. And let's see here, before we jump ahead to that, let me tell you what we got going on here. Okay, I've got some brown sugar, about a cup or so, and I'm gonna add some, this is chipotle chili peppers, and I'll wash this before I put it back in the thing, so don't worry about cross-contamination. You can use cayenne pepper, you can use chili pepper like this, you could use paprika. You don't have to use any pepper at all, especially, you know, if you're feeding the little children and everything like that. You gotta know your crap. So I'm just gonna add about, I don't know, probably a half a teaspoon, give or take. And then we're just gonna mix this into our brown sugar. There we go. Okay, and this is about a cup or so. You can measure this out if you want to, but on this, I just pour it in there and add more. If I need more, I'll mix up some more. So there we go. So what you do, and we're gonna do this 2 different ways. I'm gonna cook half of them in the oven that I have preheated to 350, and I'm gonna cook the other ones in the air fryer. So you just roll your little weenie around in the bacon, and then you mash it into the brown sugar. I like to do this on a raised rack so the grease can drip off. So I'm just gonna put my little toothpick right in there. So these are gonna be so good, y'all. These are absolutely one of our very favorite things, and they heat up real well. One thing you can do, you can make these the day before and put them in the icebox and keep them cold, and then you can heat them up. Because it is a little labor intensive to do this, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You gotta be doing something with your time, don't you? Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna keep rolling and putting these in my brown sugar, and we'll get back together when we're ready to put these in the oven and in the air fryer. So I'll see y'all back here in just a minute or 2 or 3. I've got my trusty air fryer here, and I've got it set on 370. Now you can cook these at 350, 370, 375, whatever makes your little heart happy. But so we're not really particular about that. everything is cooked except the bacon. So basically all you're doing is just cooking the bacon. And so you just pop it in there, and probably about halfway through, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna flip these so they'll cook on the other side as well. And then the one that in the oven, I'll do the same. And that's gonna take 40 to 50 minutes in the regular oven, but it won't take as long, hopefully, in the air fryer. So I'm just gonna slip this in the middle shelf there. And there we go. And I'll flip these at halfway, and then we'll get back together when they are ready to sample. So see you back here in a little bit. Okay, these are out of the air fryer and out of the regular oven. And you really can't tell the difference. The ones with the toothpicks going that way came out of the air fryer, and the ones going this way came out of the oven. Just depends on what you want to do. But I do recommend you use thin bacon because it doesn't take as long to cook. But let's just get us, looky there, looky there. Does that not look like lusciousness on a stick? Let's see what we think. That is so good, y'all. Oh boy, that is delicious. And these are so good, and they're so versatile. You don't have to have pepper bacon. You don't have to add the pepper to the brown sugar if you're feeding the kids, or if somebody doesn't like a little bit of spice. There's some heat to this, but it's not overly, I don't like a lot of really hot things. But to me, this is not over the top hot. I'll put a link on how to get either of these cookbooks or both cookbooks. And you can find the printable recipe on my website, kimmysouthern.cooking.com. And if you haven't liked or subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that and sharing this with your friends so they can have a good snacky do for the big ball game coming up this weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Y'all go do something fun. Bye, y'all.